Have you felt it? That strange vibration in the air? That sense that the barrier between science fiction and our daily reality is becoming thin? We are at an inflection point, a moment where the machines we are building are beginning to stare back at us with an intelligence that feels different. You've seen the videos. A robot that moves with such uncanny fluid grace that you swear it must be a person in a suit. Another that looks like a mechanical creature from another world skittering up a flight of stairs. And a third, so practical and quiet, you might have already walked past it in an airport and not even noticed. This is not an accident, and this is not a story about 3 new gadgets. This is a story about 3 separate, competing philosophies for the future of humanity. The recent launches of the Agabot A2, the Xpeng Iron, and the Toyota WalkMe are not just iterative upgrades, they represent a divergence event. A moment where the path forward for robotics has split, not into one dominant design, but into 3 distinct roads. This divergence is being fueled by 2 massive forces: the maturity of AI models that can finally see, understand, and act in the real world, and the sudden, explosive access to mass production capabilities pulled directly from the electric vehicle industry. We are witnessing in real time the birth of 3 new species of machine, and each one tells us something profound about who we are. This is the strategic analysis of our new reality. Part 1. The Pragmatist, Agabot A2. Let's begin with the philosophy of pragmatic integration. This is the future embodied by the Agabot A2. Agabot's strategy is beautifully simple, almost elegant in its practicality: reliable boredom. This robot is not built to dream. It is built to work. It's not chasing some far-off, theoretical, artificial general intelligence. It is solving the immediate, measurable, and expensive problems of today. The high-traffic, high-friction spaces of our world: convention centers, hotel lobbies, airport terminals, and retail superstores. In these business environments, the metrics that matter are not flash and dazzle. They are uptime, verifiable safety, and return on investment. This commercial focus is etched into every engineering decision. The A2 has hot swappable batteries for near continuous uptime. Its high-torque joints are custom-built for thousands of hours of reliable operation. And most importantly, Agabot has already shipped hundreds of these units. This is the leap from R&D to mass-scale commercial deployment. But to operate in a crowded public space, the biggest hurdles are not technical, they are legal. The greatest fear is liability. This is where the A2's true genius lies. Its most strategic feature isn't a sensor or a motor, it's a certificate, PLLD, Performance Level D. This is a rigorous functional safety standard from the world of heavy industrial machinery. For a service robot to achieve this is almost unheard of. It signals to a corporate customer that this machine is designed with redundant control channels and triple-layered monitoring. Agabot didn't just build a robot, it built a liability shield. It's the robot a corporate lawyer, not just a CTO, can love. And its AI stack is just as pragmatic. It brilliantly solves the 2 biggest problems with AI in the enterprise: accuracy and embodiment. First, accuracy. You can't have a concierge robot hallucinating an answer for a guest. So the A2 doesn't. It uses an architecture called RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. This is a beautiful cheat. The robot doesn't know the answer. It looks up the answer. When you ask it, "Where is the keynote presentation?" it queries the events database, finds the correct data, and then uses its large language model to summarize that verified information into a natural spoken answer. It's not a conversational toy, it's a verifiable productivity tool. Second, embodiment. A language model can only talk. A service robot must act. Agabot's Action GPT bridges this gap. It's a motion generation model that connects linguistic intent to physical action. When it understands a social cue, like welcome, Action GPT generates a contextually appropriate wave or a nod. It's this seamless flow between understanding and moving that elevates it from a kiosk on wheels to a true collaborator. This is the first path, the robot as a reliable colleague, present, useful, and invisible. Part 2, the avatar, Xpeng Iron. And then there is the second path, the philosophy of humanoid imitation. This is the Xpeng Iron. And this is where the story gets complicated. The controversy that erupted after its debut, the person in a suit accusations, wasn't a PR failure. It was a symptom of its staggering success. The robot's motion was so biologically fluid, so eerily human, that it didn't just fall into the uncanny valley. It climbed straight out the other side and entered the territory of disbelief. Elon Musk's reaction said it all. Not bad. Tesla and Chinese companies will dominate the market. This wasn't a casual compliment. It was an acknowledgement from his primary competitor that the race has fundamentally changed. This is no longer a lab experiment. This is an automotive-scale manufacturing race. Both Tesla and Xpeng possess structural advantages that traditional robotics companies cannot match. Vertically integrated supply chains, deep expertise in next-generation battery technology. Iron is the first in its field to use a solid-state battery. And self-developed AI stacks, already battle-tested by millions of miles of autonomous driving. Xpeng is betting it can leverage this industrial might to mass-produce the iron by late 2026, leapfrogging everyone. The technical marvel that enables this is not just its 82 active joints. It is the human-like spine. This is the secret. Most humanoid robots have a rigid torso. Their legs move independently from their upper body. Xpeng added flexibility at the waist. This allows the upper and lower body to move in synchronization. When the torso twists, the hips sway naturally. It's this connected, full-body biomimicry that creates a gait previously only seen in, well, us. Its AI is just as revolutionary, particularly in its training speed. Xpeng's CEO claimed the iron learned a complex dance in just 2 hours versus weeks for older methods. This isn't learning from scratch. This is a breakthrough in skill transfer. The 2-hour window wasn't the time to learn the choreography. It was the time needed for the AI to translate and adapt the motion capture data from a human dancer onto the robot's unique physics, its joints, its weight, its center of gravity. This is a commercial game changer. It means Xpeng can rapidly teach the robot new, complex physical tasks simply by having a human do them first. Which leads us to the most profound and most controversial part of this philosophy. Xpeng's deliberate choice to give the iron prominent feminine physical characteristics was not an accident. It was a calculated, high-stakes strategic market test. The company's leadership has been explicit. The CEO, He Xiaopeng, justified it by linking a warmer, more human-like shape to increased intimacy and, therefore, higher sales. The VP of Xpeng Robotics was even more blunt. We are not just making robots, we are making people. This is a business decision. Xpeng is betting that emotional and physical simulation is the key to mass market adoption. They are planning for full customization, body size, skin type, hairstyle, transforming the robot from an industrial device into a personalized consumer product, just like a car. And this walks us straight into an ethical minefield. This strategy powerfully hijacks our natural human tendency to anthropomorphize, to project life and feeling onto inanimate objects. But it also risks reinforcing harmful gender stereotypes, casting female forms into service roles. Xpeng appears to be prioritizing market penetration over these social considerations. This is the second path, the robot as an avatar, a companion, a mirror, and an emotional entity.
Finally, we have the third philosophy, a philosophy that defines the robot not as a co-worker or a companion, but as a functional augment. This is the Toyota WalkMe, and it is beautiful because it actively rejects the human form. It is not designed to look like us or replace us. It is designed to solve a fundamental failure of our infrastructure. The WalkMe is not competing with Xpeng's iron. It is competing with stairs. This is pure Toyota. Identify a real, daily, unglamorous problem, mobility for the elderly and disabled, and apply reliable, advanced engineering to solve it. The target market is not the tech-obsessed, but the simple, unavoidable reality of our global aging population. The goat and crab inspiration mentioned in its design is the literal engineering key. Goats are master climbers. They use their powerful proximal joints, hips, for propulsion, and their distal joints, ankles, for compliance and stability on uncertain surfaces. Crabs are masters of stability, using multi-legged gaits to maintain balance even while moving. The WalkMe synthesizes these two principles. It is a four-legged biomimetic system that actively adapts to the terrain. Its sensors, LiDAR, radar, and weight sensors, don't just see obstacles. They allow the robot to constantly and automatically adjust its center of gravity, keeping the rider perfectly upright, whether on a steep incline or climbing a flight of stairs. This is not a robot designed to replace a human. It's a tool to make the world we built for the able-bodied. Clear, warm, accessible to all of us. It occupies a unique and desperately needed category. It's more autonomous than a stair-climbing wheelchair and more accessible than an exoskeleton, which often requires significant upper body strength. This is the third path, the robot as an extension of the human body. The choice. So there they are, 3 machines, 3 philosophies, all arriving at this exact same moment. The robot race is not one race. It has fractured. It has split into 3 distinct futures that will now compete for dominance. The path of integration. The robot as an invisible, reliable infrastructure.
The Agabot A2. The path of imitation. The robot as an emotional, social avatar. The Xpeng iron. The path of augmentation. The robot as a functional tool to overcome our limitations. The Toyota WalkMe. The question is no longer when the robots will arrive. They are here. The real question, the one we must now answer, is which ones do we want? The invisible collaborator, the emotional mirror, or the empowering tool? Each path we choose, each robot we embrace will become a mirror, reflecting not just our incredible ingenuity, but our deepest human values.